Hey y'all, today we're going to be making bacon mushroom Swiss chicken in our Ninja Foodi. Oh, we're having a whole lot of fun. Look how that cheese melted down over the top of that chicken breast right there. Hi, welcome back to another edition of Cooking Chris's Dishes with the good old boy, where we cook up another dish from recipes.crock.com, my beautiful wife's cook-a-blog, and today we're going to be making dinner. It's my turn to make dinner, and I want something quick and simple, and so, being it's Foodi Friday, we're going to use our Ninja Foodi, and we're going to do it all. You can do this with an Instant Pot, you can do this with any electric pressure cooker you've got. I'm going to use our Foodi because I know I can do it all with one pot right now. And to make this, what you're going to need first off is 3 slices of bacon that you want to crisp up. Have crispy, crumbly bacon that goes along with this dish. So all I did is I had my rack down in the bottom of my Foodi. If you hear that rattling, that's my dog. He's dancing around. I took my rack, put it up there with the rack high up, and I just cooked up 3 slices of bacon, and it's falling apart, which is perfect. And I'm going to keep those drippings that came from that bacon and leave them in the bottom of the pot. I've got this set on sear saute mode right now, and then I'm just going to simply take 3 boneless, skinless chicken breasts and put them in that hot bacon grease. Now we're not going to cook these all the way through, but what we are going to do is brown them up, just like that. And while those are browning up in the bottom of my Foodi in that wonderful bacon grease that just got rendered, I'll tell you what else you need. Of course, I told you about your bacon, and then you also need to have a can, which is about 10.5, 10.75 ounces, depends on the brand, of cream of chicken soup, which I've got in a bowl here. You want 1 cup of chicken broth, and then you also want 4.5 ounce can of mushrooms that have been drained. And then you can't call it bacon mushroom Swiss without some Swiss cheese. So we're going to use 3 slices of Swiss cheese. But right now, all this stuff goes to the side. We don't need it. All we want to do right now is brown up our chicken. And we're already starting to get there. This will not take any time whatsoever. All we're doing is browning the chicken on the outside, gives it a little bit more flavor. It's starting to soak up that bacon grease into the chicken, which gives chicken a wonderful, wonderful flavor. I'm going to try and get those as evenly browned up as I can. This shouldn't take more than just about 2 or 3 minutes. But for you, it'll be done this quick. Alright, my chicken is just about browned up where I want it, so right before I finish that off, what I'll do is I'm going to mix my broth in with my chicken soup, this cream of chicken soup, and I just want this blended well together. Just like that. I think the spatula is okay, but I think I'm probably going to use a whisk, if I can find one. Where's my whisk at? Found it! Here it is right here. So I'm just going to whisk this up so it's blended well together. Alright. So it's going to make a creamy mixture, very chickeny by the way. And once it starts to thicken up like it does, that is perfect. So now what I'm going to do is shut off my Foodi. That way the saute feature is already done. And check it out. You can see that chicken has browned up nicely in that bacon grease. And I can promise you this, that chicken is not, I repeat, not cooked all the way through. It looks all brown and good, but that middle is definitely not done. So this is not ready to eat yet. In fact, if you look right there real close, maybe, you can see how that meat is still a little bit pink right there. But that's okay, because we're getting ready to do some Ninja Foodi magic here. And that goes like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my creamy mixture there of soup and broth, and I'm going to pour it all over that chicken. Now the heating element is shut off, and the chicken broth came out of the fridge, so it is nice and cold, and it's going to cool that down, so that chicken is going to stop frying right away. And I want to stir that up, because you've got your bacon grease down in the bottom. I'm going to give that a good stir in there. It smells really, really, really good in this house. Y'all, that is going to be one tasty dish. So now that we've got that warming up in there, kind of bringing it up to the temperature with that chicken, I am going to take my mushrooms and I'm just going to sprinkle them on the top. Right on top of my chicken. Just like that. Oh my gosh, this stuff is heavenly, let me tell you. I love this coming from the crock pot. I cannot wait to eat this out of the Foodi, because this is literally going to take 1/8 of the time that it does whenever you cook it in a slow cooker. Let me wash my hands and I'll show you what we got. And that's what it looks like when you put it all together. You got that chicken laying down into all of that goodness there with the broth and the chicken soup. The cream of chicken soup, that is, and then you've got these mushrooms on top. So all we're going to do now is pop a lid on it, and we're going to turn this back on. We're going to put this on pressure. We're going to cook it on high for 10 minutes. Now, one thing you want to make sure not to have on is your keep warm feature, because after 10 minutes, we're going to quick release that, so make sure you've got that set to seal. And after 10 minutes, we're going to quick release it. We're going to crumble up some bacon, put it on top, and then we're going to go to town on it. And that's going to happen in 3, 2, 1. Like that magic? Or you're going to like this magic. All right, so we'll pull the lid off. We've let it come to pressure. It only took just a couple minutes to get that up to pressure too, since we heated up that broth along with the soup into our chicken. And it just rode that heat for about 10 minutes, and then we did a quick release. And that is what we are left with. Look at that chicken right there. You see it's still bubbling. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. And now for the final steps, it's real simple. We're going to take a slice of Swiss cheese and lay on top of each one of our chicken breasts, right like that. And right like that. Now Lou says to put this in a container and keep it covered in order for that cheese to melt. But you know what? We're using the Ninja Foodi. This thing is a multi-purpose tank. So I'm going to sprinkle that bacon that I had cooked up in our Foodi earlier and chopped up and put it right on top of the cheese. Kind of share it. I'll save a little on the side here for Aki and Ollie. They like a little bit of bacon. And that cheese is already melting down really, really well, because this was straight shot from a very hot pot. But now all I'm going to do is one of two things. I could serve it up just like this, just the way you saw it, put it on a plate. Probably everybody's going to be happy about it. But I want that cheese to melt. And I've got a Ninja Foodi. And Ninja Foodis do lots of things. So I'm just going to go to Air Crisp. I'll set it for $3.90. And I am going to only go, in fact, I'm just going to watch it and check. But I'm going to go for 3 minutes. Probably won't go for the full 3 minutes, because all I want to do is circulate that heat and really melt that cheese down. And that's going to look like that in 3, 2, 1. And it should be done. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. It looks just like it did before, only that cheese is melted. I let that go for about 2 minutes at 390. And I'm just going to bring it out. That cheese is stringy. Oh my goodness. I'm going to grab some more mushrooms, because I love me some mushrooms with this. You got the mushrooms on top, but I made it. I'm going to get me some extra mushrooms. I'm using a slotted spoon too, by the way, and make sure when you're using your Ninja, make sure you use something that's not metal, because you don't want to scratch the inside of your Foodi. And now I'm going to take a fork and see how well that pressure cooked this chicken. I'm just gonna go, oh wow. Yeah, it cooked it really, really well. It's not hard to cut through at all. Let me grab a couple good bites here. Now, if you wanted to, you could spoon some of that that soup mixture over the top. I'm fine just the way this is. I'll come up and show you. Look how that cheese melted down over the top of that chicken breast right there. And of course, you got your mushrooms, and there's bacon all over that cheese. And we'll get a good piece of chicken here. And I know it's going to be hot, so give me a second whilst I blow on it. One, the chicken's done all the way through. When you pressure cook something like that, it takes no time at all to cook even a thick piece of chicken breast like that. Two, it cooked for a very short amount of time, so surprisingly these mushrooms aren't mushy, which is good. They've got a good chew to them. The bacon put on there at the end and then ran through that air crisp cycle in order to melt that cheese. The bacon's still got a crunch to it. So you've got a whole circus, if you want to call that, of flavors going on here. And then of course that Swiss cheese is fantastic on the top of that chicken. Y'all, that takes less than a half an hour and it is completely worth it. It will make your family happy. If you don't like mushrooms, if you got a problem with mushrooms like some people do, leave the mushrooms out. I won't mind. I'd still eat it if you invited me. And if you're liking this kind of stuff, whether it's really, really good food, whether we travel, whatever it is, we hope that you'll give us a like down below. If you have not become a member of the Crock Posse, all you got to do is click the subscribe button down below. And if you want to know as soon as we put up a new video, click that little bell next to it. We call it the ding-a-ling, and it lets YouTube know that you want to see the videos as soon as they pop up. But the most important thing, y'all, is to laugh often, eat good food, and speak life. Bye. If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon.